For nearly 2,000 years, the Bishop of Rome, known as the Pope, has not only guided the spiritual lives of over 1 billion Catholics, but shaped the course of global history. Through crowning emperors, starting crusades, steering artistic renaissances, negotiating peace treaties, and influencing modern diplomacy, the papacy has wielded a unique combination of spiritual authority, political sway, cultural patronage, scientific curiosity, and moral charisma. We begin with sweeping visuals: St. Peter's Basilica, medieval manuscripts, Renaissance art, Vatican diplomacy, and modern global stages. This is the story of how popes left indelible marks on empires, civilizations, arts, sciences, and modern geopolitics, showing that their role extends far beyond religion. Origins and spiritual authority. The papacy traces its spiritual authority to the Apostle Peter, regarded by Catholics as the first bishop of Rome. Early popes like Clement I, circa 96, asserted unity among Christian communities, showing both practical leadership and theological authority. Over centuries, popes consolidated their voice not only in church doctrine but also in public life. By the 4th century, Christianity's imperial endorsement under Constantine strengthened Rome's bishops. But a turning point arrived in the 6th century with Pope Gregory I, 590 to 604. A portrait of Pope Gregory I. Gregory reformed liturgy, sent missionaries to convert Europe, and safeguarded Rome amid political collapse. His leadership helped preserve Western civilization through monastic scribes, securing continuity between antiquity and the Middle Ages. Crown of Emperors. Leo III and Charlemagne. On Christmas Day, 800 AD, Pope Leo III crowned Charlemagne emperor, fusing spiritual and temporal power. This act symbolically revived the Western Roman Empire and inaugurated the Holy Roman Empire, precedents for centuries of Christian kings seeking papal sanction. From that moment, secular rulers recognized the Pope as ultimate spiritual authority, while popes gained political leverage over Christian rulers across Europe. Crusades and Christian wars. In 1095, Pope Urban II held the Council of Clermont, calling on knights to liberate the Holy Land. His words launched the First Crusade and opened centuries of religious warfare, reshaping Europe, the Middle East, and interfaith relations. While crusades sparked brutal conflict, they also accelerated cultural exchange and trade, indirectly setting the stage for later movements like the Renaissance. Renaissance powers, patronage, and politics. During the Renaissance, popes turned from pure spiritual leadership toward artistic and political want. Pope Martin V returned the papacy to Rome in 1420. Shortly after, Julius II, 1503 to 1513, the warrior pope, fought wars to consolidate papal states and founded the Swiss Guard. He also commissioned Michelangelo's Sistine Chapel ceiling. Successor Leo X, 1513 to 1521, a Medici scion, elevated culture, restoring universities, founding Greek presses, and financing art. Yet he financed these efforts through indulgences, which sparked Martin Luther's 1517 Theses and ignited the Protestant Reformation. Counter-Reformation and Council of Trent. In response, Pope Paul III, 1534 to 1549, convened the Council of Trent, 1545 to 1563, decisively defining Catholic doctrine and reforming church practice. This Counter-Reformation revitalized Catholicism, crafting an ornate Baroque world and renewing mission outreach. Europe became divided between Protestant North and Catholic South, reshaping politics, mass, art, and education. Papal sovereignty and infallibility. During the 19th century upheavals, Pope Pius IX, 1846 to 1878, lost the Papal States amid Italian unification and proclaimed papal infallibility at Vatican I, 1870. Though his political authority waned, his spiritual claims gained new weight. The Lateran Treaty of 1929 with Mussolini established Vatican City as a sovereign state, ensuring popes remained independent of secular governments. Art. knowledge and science. Beyond politics, popes shaped culture and science. They funded the arts, Michelangelo, Raphael, Bernini, and education via medieval universities. The Church stood at the cradle of Western civilization. Less known, popes supported astronomy and natural science. Pope Sylvester II, 999 to 1003, brought Arabic math to Europe, founding cathedral schools. His successor, Innocent III, established Europe's oldest hospital. In the 20th century, Pius XI founded the Pontifical Academy of Sciences, 1936, while Pius XII endorsed evolution and Galileo's work. John Paul II later asserted that faith and reason are complementary, emphasizing the human's rise on two wings of belief and sciences: diplomacy and global moral leadership. With Vatican City as a sovereign microstate, popes have acted as moral diplomats. They hold permanent observer status at the UN and direct relations with 184 nations. Pope Benedict XV, 1914 to 1922, sought peace in World War I, supported American church growth, and emphasized missions. Pope Francis, global conscience. Pope Francis, 2013 to 2025, shifted focus toward the peripheries, embracing the poor, migrants, climate action, and interfaith outreach. His environmental encyclical Laudato Si echoed Leo XII's social justice teaching, and his quiet diplomacy helped shape negotiations on Ukraine, Gaza wars, and global peace efforts, testament to the Pope's role as moral statesman. Contemporary influence and future. In 2025, the election of Pope Leo XIV, an American-born pontiff, reinforces papal relevance. His appointment of the first Chinese bishop under the Vatican, Beijing Agreement illustrates ongoing geopolitical diplomacy. A poll shows 2/3 of American Catholics and significant numbers of secular adults hold a favorable view of Leo XIV, showing popes can bridge religious and ideological divides. Over 20 centuries, popes have reshaped empires, instigated religious movements, fostered culture, advanced science, and mediated global crises. Their power lies not in armies, but in moral authority and the human conscience. They lead as shepherds, patrons, pioneers of science, architects of peace. Their legacy remains vivid, etched in the world's institutions, art, soaring cathedrals, and collective conscience. The papacy endures, ever adapting, ever influencing.